and day by day grew stronger. Soon he was spending most of his time at the shipyard, watching the engines go in. Abbott lift and drive for normal space, Dillingham hyperdrive, power converters, pseudograv, all at the center of the globular ship. Living quarters and workshops went in next, all armored in collapsium-plated steel. Then the ship lifted out to an orbit 1,000 miles off planet, followed by swarms of armored workcraft and cargo lighters. The rest of the work was more easily done in space. At the same time, the 4 200-foot pinnaces that would be carried aboard were being finished. Each of them had its own hyperdrive engines and could travel as far and as fast as the ship herself. Otto Harkonnen was beginning to be distressed because the ship still lacked a name. He didn't like having to speak of her as her, or the ship, and there were many things soon to go on that should be name-marked. Elaine, Trask thought at once, and almost at once rejected it. He didn't want her name associated with the things that ship would do in the old Federation. Revenge, Avenger, Retribution, Vendetta. None appealed to him. A news commentator, turgidly eloquent about the nemesis which the criminal Dunnan had invoked against himself, supplied it. Nemesis it was. Now he was studying his new profession of interstellar robbery and murder, against which he had once inveighed. Otto Harkonnen's handful of followers became his teachers. Van Larch, Guns and Missiles, who was also a painter. Watt Kirby, sour and pessimistic, the hyperspatial astrogator who tried to express his science in music. Charles Renner, the normal space astrogator. Alvin Carford, the exec, who had been with Harkonnen longest of all. And Sir Patrick Morland, a local recruit, formerly guard captain to Count Lionel of New Haven, who commanded the ground fighters and the combat contragravity. They were using the farms and villages of Traskin for drill and practice, and he noticed that while the Nemesis would carry only 500 ground and air fighters, over 1,000 were being trained. He commented to Rovar Groffus. "Yes, don't mention it outside," the Duke's henchman said. "You and Sir Patrick and Captain Harkonnen will pick the 500 best. The Duke will take the rest into his service. Some of these days, Humphrey of Glaspeth will find out what a space Viking raid is really like." And Duke Angus would take his new subjects of Glaspeth to redeem the pledges on his new barony of Traskin. The Nemesis came back to the Gorham Yards and settled onto her curved landing legs like a monstrous spider. The Enterprise had borne the Ward, Sword, and Atom symbol. The Nemesis should bear his own badge. But the bisonoid head tawny on green of Traskin was no longer his.